Citizens, it's that time. You are officially in the incinerator. Welcome to Incense and Common Sense, the live streams that we do here on the Alert Zone TV. Shout out to everybody. Definitely, this is a worldwide movement. As you come in, hit the like button. If you catch it on a replay, hit the like button. I've noticed I've had some people either unsubscribe or be unsubscribed. Check and make sure you subscribe to the channel that YouTube haven't unsubscribed you. For you guys and girls that's new to the channel, y'all may not know, I said a couple things that upset YouTube a while back and they put me under a shadow ban for a while. People didn't get their notifications. I had people that was unsubscribed without their doing and what have you, so definitely check that out. Welcome to MidDay Mania. This is MidDay Mania, the midday edition. This is noon Central Time. We try and do MidDay Mania at noon Central Time. So I'm gonna do the same thing I always do. I'm gonna give everybody a couple minutes to get in here. I got my cup. You guys and girls can see the old revolver handle. I'm using my mug today, my bullet mug. And to the two people who entered the contest, I will be reaching out to y'all later this week or this weekend so I can send y'all cups, y'all mugs. Also, we got a new donation to the channel. My microphone, I gotta go and get the jack and the adapter and plug it up. And so I'm not gonna use it this time, but when you guys see this adapter 9 times out of 10, I'll be using this when I'm at the headquarters of the Alert Zone. From time to time, I might take it out on the road with me, but I appreciate this gift from my wife. Donated this to the channel. She's been donating quite a bit. Like I said, I hope everybody's having a good day out there. You may hear some things that you may not agree with, and I understand that. But I'm going to address a couple things while I'm here. As I always say, if you disagree with anything you hear here, hit me in the comment section and we can always talk about it, you know. Always. All right, pause and play. Nola, what's going on? I can't call it, man. I'm just here enjoying this. We got a wonderful MidDay Mania schedule for you guys and girls out there. I titled it The Experience because I went to a regular meetup 5 and that was not a 2-way event. That was a damn experience. I'm going to try not to use any profanity. I'm trying to work on that. If I use some profanity, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and address some things. Oh shoot, we got 14 people in the building. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna address Black Rambo. I'm gonna address the things. If you guys and girls haven't been to the community tab, the post, you guys should go and give those posts that I put over there a thumbs up. As I say, you guys and girls know when I do MidDay Mania, any kind of live stream, I always try and go to the community tab. Usually, I'm good and I have time. Sometimes it be kind of an impromptu. But with that being said, make sure you hit the likes button when you come in here. All right, Tony, what's going on? Yeah, man. At the 5-minute mark, we'll get the program started, and we got quite a bit to go over. I'm going to try not to hold you guys and girls too long, because I know it's midday. Some of y'all on y'all lunch hour. Some of y'all just got off of y'all lunch hour. If you're driving, shout out to all my truck drivers out there. If you're driving, I know you can't watch me. Stick your jack in, put your Bluetooth on to your radio or whatever, and just listen to me talk while you go down the road. I know what it's like. Definitely. All right, so we at the 5-minute mark. Let's get started. So you guys know I was invited Um, and it was my pleasure. I had never been able to make it. The very first regular meetup, I was 50-50 about. Because I hadn't been in the gun tube. I didn't have a channel. And I really just didn't know. And at the time where I was employed at, I knew I wasn't going to get that day off. All the rest of the meetups since, it's always been something. For some reason, they kept falling when my daughter would tumble in nationals or what have you. But I was able to make a regular meetup 5. And I got to show you guys and girls some of the wonderful things that I got. First off, I want to give a salute and a clap to Fat Guy with Guns, RGG, a regular gun guy, Billy from My Fly Family, Tactical Tangerine, to the guy Peanut who came up with this whole idea, and to everybody else that I may not know that was a part of putting that event together. You guys put together an experience, not a meetup. Okay, enough of that talking, let me shut up. So one of the things I was able to buy, I won't ever use, we got the Magpul 30 rounder, 29 YouTube compliant. As you guys can see the 5 on there. It's ARM 5, a regular meetup 5. You can see a better picture of this at the community tab. I got this cool pad, mouse pad from Fusion Firearms. They was one of the sponsors there. That was pretty cool. Got my regular meetup 5 shirt. That's pretty cool. Gonna be rocking it. We had Miami International in the house. We had SAR. For the first time in my life, I shot a SAR. The SOCOM. All I'm gonna say is wow about SAR firearms. I was very impressed. I've never shot them. To my understanding from the representative that was out there, SAR is gonna be like another version of Canic in a sense that they're gonna be really affordable and they're gonna give you everything and even a little bit more than Canic does for the same price or less. I thought that was cool. I mean that SOCOM, I'm not sure exactly the full model of it, but I shot that with the red dot on it and it was smooth shooting. A really bad design. I got this while I was out there. You guys have seen this if you've been on the community channel tab. This is my Athlon scope that I won in a raffle. It is a 2x12x42 scope. I won this in a raffle, definitely, so I appreciate that. And it was a raffle that you didn't have to pay to get into. They just gave us tickets. I'm pretty sure as a part of the ticket price or whatever. It's kind of like a donation Friday type thing. So I won that. I got my SAR bag, even though I got it dirty, I got to clean it. I got my bag from SAR. SAR USA was giving these bags out for free. Just about everybody that stayed after the award ceremony and banquet got one of these or multiple. We got these for free. And I got a Fusion bag from Fusion Firearms. Carry bag, a pistol bag. Fusion Firearms, you guys and girls can see. I'm gonna tell you guys and girls the story behind this bag. I want to shout Black Rambo out. You know, we see these YouTube personalities. We see people that gain a following. And we never know what they went through and the hard work that they put into grinding. And sorry about that, everybody. Be doing that on camera, digging in my ear. Black Rambo won this. You guys can see. And I asked him for it. He laughed. I told him, come on, man, let me have that bag, bro. I said, you win everything. People give you stuff everywhere you go. He said he was going to keep it. About 20 minutes later, he came and gave it to me and told me, here, bro, I want you to have it. That let me know something. All of us YouTube personalities, whether we the smallest guy or girl or the biggest, a lot of us are just normal people. That guy is so approachable, it is unreal. Now, he's really like you see on his videos. He's really turned up like that. But he's a real approachable guy. You guys seen the pictures that we took? We kind of had a little small conversation on the range. He was out shooting and things. He had his 945 Industries bag with his Atlas in there, I think that is, that he carries every day. The story was told about some of the things that's been done to him. You guys know Black Rambo came out of nowhere and his channel took off and shot to, he's like up there, hit cop 45 type, up there. And he talked, some of the mistreatments that he went through and still go through was talked about. I don't want to go overboard because I didn't ask his permission to tell all these stories, but he gave me this bag, man, and that's a real down-to-earth guy. If y'all ever see him in public, he's very approachable. I do tell you to approach with caution and don't approach him in no aggressive manner because he has the right to protect himself. But he's a real approachable guy. He never thought he was too big to take pictures with anybody out there. So I definitely appreciate that. That's how I got this pistol bag. Shout out to all the participants that let me shoot their firearms. My goal was to shoot one gun when I went there. My goal was to shoot a 2011. And I shot several. I shot the Stealth Arms Platypus, which I'm sold on. I shot the Fusion, the Compact. I forget, I think it's the XC Pro or something like that. I shot the Prodigy, the Compact, Compt. I got to shoot the Atlas. I got to shoot the Chirac while I was out there. I got to shoot a 38 Super race gun. I forget the name of it. I seen it on the Honest Outlaw. It's one of them jokers that's $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. There was a lot of guys and girls with really high-end stuff, and they were the nicest people on the planet. To the point, I bought ammunition. So if I was going to shoot somebody's 2011, I can give them ammunition, and they all turned me down and told me no. Keep your ammunition. That's not why we bought these out here. I got to shoot the effing Scar in 308 on the tripod. Man, that thing was a tack driver. I got to shoot a reset trigger. That's too much for me. The AR-15, I started at the ground. Before I know it, I almost went over the hill. So I know when too much is too much. I got to shoot the Chirac. I thought the Chirac was just something a regular gun guy named his gun. I didn't know it's an actual manufacturer. I got to shoot the Chirac. Big Dre that manufactures firearms out there. I got to shoot a couple of his 300 Blackout. No recall. It was a tack driver. I just got to shoot so many wonderful firearms. This was an experience. It's open to the public. All you have to do is buy your ticket. I met a lot of wonderful people out there. A lot of wonderful people came up to me that recognized me. Me, a little small gun tuber out there, and I took pictures. I had a blast out there. Consider going. It's an experience. Like I said, Fusion Firearms was there. Saw Firearms was there. Stellar Firearms was there. There was others that was out there, man. It was an experience. The first day was when everybody bought their firearms out, and the second day, what's going on? Gun Freak Nation in the building, William Fratelli. It was an experience. Let me say this. This is not one of those meetups where you got to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. It's open to the public. Yes, it's an event that was started by us, but it's for everybody because we're a very inclusive group of people, whether you know that about us or not. Everybody's going to treat you like family. I got to meet my brother Jason Ewing out there. Wow, we had a blast. We had a blast. We had so much going on. At the hotel Friday night, we was out in the parking lot, turned up. I mean, it was quite the experience. Nobody got injured. To my understanding, this has been the 5th year straight that they haven't had any injuries out there. Not only did the Billy and those guys put untold effort into making sure this went down right, us as the participants made sure that we followed the rules when we on range. When it was time to stop shooting and hands up, everybody's hands went up. For people who didn't hear, we went and let them know. I mean, I met 2A in LA, goodness. I don't even want to talk about the firearms he had out there. But everybody was very approachable. We had a ball. That's all I can say. Let me address something else. This is kind of where I'm going to rub some people probably the wrong way, but it's got to be said. You guys and girls out there know I go to Mexico quite a bit. I haven't got a chance to go this year. I'm not even sure if I'm going to make it this year because of things going on behind the scenes. You guys and girls know here at the Alert Zone TV, I made a video specifically to immigrants, whether they just got here and went through the proper process of becoming a citizen or resident, to their children, their grandchildren. I've made it clear. If you're able to be legally armed, practice your Second Amendment rights. Everybody is welcome here. Now, these protests that's going on, I'm not going to sign off on the violence and things that has broken out because of that. America is not a perfect place. No place on this planet is. But at the same time, it's hard for me to agree with somebody who says they're not going to leave while burning the American flag. Whatever you think of it. Even if they was burning the Betsy Ross flag. Whatever you think of it. I can't co-sign that. I'm going to say this, and you take this the way you feel. Ask yourself, is this cause worth going out there and possibly risking your life? I understand that some people may not like what's going on, but the law is the law. They're not rounding up immigrants because they're immigrants. They've made it clear, whether you like Donald Trump or not, whether you like Fox News or not, CNN and all the rest of these places, Donald Trump has made it very clear, him and Tom Homan, of who their intended targets are. They've made it clear they're after guys and girls that have criminal convictions, criminal warrants and what have you, and they've made it clear, if you guys want to protect them, there's going to be collateral damage. You got people out here jumping in front of the vehicles and what have you. They pelting the police with rocks and all kinds of stuff. They're burning things. Look, the only reason the George Floyd uprising took place was because a man that was already handcuffed was killed. Whether you like it or not, he was killed. It was on camera. The protesting, we got well-dressed tactical in the building. The protest was because At first, they didn't want to charge Derek Chauvin. And it was a protest. It wasn't a riot. It's on video for those of you who don't know. It was a white man that was known to law enforcement. That was one of these Aryan Brotherhoods or whatever gang he was a part of that started smashing the windows in the AutoZone in Minneapolis. And it was the black folks who grabbed him and told him, the hell wrong with you? We didn't come out here for that. Then riots broke out across the country. Uprisings in places that black folks don't even live, for some of y'all who don't know. Here in Iowa, Des Moines, Ankeny, especially Ankeny. There ain't no black folk there. A handful. Walmart, all the gun shops, everybody took their firearms off the shelves. Bass Pro Shop everywhere. If you want to protest, that's fine. Whether I agree with your protesting or not. But when you go out there and you start attacking law enforcement, you start attacking people, remember what's going on in LA, the LAPD, things like that. I've watched multiple outlets. I've went in comment sections. They're still holding back. The people that's out there tearing LA up, they don't get the brunt of the law like we do. I'm going to say this as a proud foundational black American. This is not our fight. Don't you go your behind out there. Don't you go your behind out there throwing rocks and acting like a goddamn fool. Don't you go out there talking about looting and what have you. Stay your ass inside. Because when we show up, all this holding back that you see law enforcement doing, they're not going to do that if we show up out there. It's going to be guns a-blazing like it was during the George Floyd uprisings, where they wasn't jumping out on us and grabbing us. They were jumping out shooting, literally. You had a guy in Minneapolis had to get arrested and go to court and found not guilty. There were van loads of undercover cops jumping out, and they were picking black folk out. I just got to call it like it is, since people keep trying to compare the two. And they were opening fire. And black folks started protecting themselves and returning fire. Let's make that clear. If you guys remember during the George Floyd uprisings out there in Illinois, the Little Village, there was that guy that got up there and made it clear. The only group of people that's not allowed to come through Little Village is black folk. Even though black folk were not the only ones out there rioting, he picked us out. For those of you who don't know, there was video of them snatching a black city bus driver going through Little Village off the bus and beating him. They jumped on an elderly lady. They were picking us out. Although everybody was out there looting, we got singled out. I haven't seen Fox News, False News, News Nation, CNN, and all the rest of the Aryan propagandists. I mean, the AP, the word thug hasn't come out yet. When we show up, thug comes out. These criminals, I haven't seen the usual suspects comments everywhere like you do when we show up. When we show up, even if we got our hands up and nobody's armed, we hear thugs. Here come the thugs. Here come, it's their culture. Here comes the 13%. I haven't seen any of that. We've never protested this country and burned the flag. We've never came out protesting America and burning flags. We've never came out and protested an injustice and waved the flag of a foreign country. For whatever you want to say about us, we've never done that. This is not our fight. Black folks, stay your ass home. Because when you show up and they see you, you'll be the one they drag out of the crowd. People talked about LAPD. Remember, LAPD and the Los Angeles sheriffs, Los Angeles County sheriffs, they got the executioners. They got the banditos. For those of you who don't remember, the Compton mayor, she got stopped by them Hispanic officers and they roughed up and told her they didn't care that she was the mayor. This is what they do. This is why LAPD is not responding in the manner they usually do. A lot of them, they siding with the protesters. I'm just telling you what I see. At the end of the day, I don't care if you're whatever you are, whatever ethnicity, race you claim to be. Stay out of there. At the end of the day, Donald Trump is doing what he said he was going to do. You can't get angry with the man for doing what he said he was going to do. I've even seen a woman that says she was Mexican try and say it was the Cubans that voted for. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, illegal immigration is illegal immigration. And they've made it clear the ones that they were after. They've even said there's going to be some collateral damage. Tom Homan has begged these sanctuary cities, turn over the guys and girls you know we're looking for and we won't even come in there. They've defied him. They've said what they're not going to do. And now it's chaos out in the fucking street. And it's spread across the country. I'm not going out there. I'm sorry. And I'll tell you this. Nuri Martinez and the LA City Council, all for those people who are from that community asking where the black folks at, y'all didn't show up for us. Nuri Martinez, Padilla, and DeLeon, they made it clear who their enemy was, and they were pushing a policy to make sure they economically strangle us. They singled us out. The only Mexicans that showed up out there was the Oaxacans, because she said that they were too dark and she didn't like them. They showed up in solidarity with us only because they got singled out. And I'm not making this immigration thing a Mexican thing, because Mexicans are going to get the brunt of the blame for this, because that's the flag everybody sees the most. Look, in this country, you are allowed to celebrate your day wherever you from. There's Cinco de Mayo. There's Mexican Independence Day. There's St. Patrick's Day. Those people are Irish. Out there in New York, you got all them Puerto Rican Day, Dominican Day, the Caribbean parades. Hell, the Nigerians, I didn't know they have an Independence Day celebration here. The Liberians here in Iowa, they have a big old get together in Des Moines. You are allowed to celebrate your country, whether you were born there or you're a child of parents from those countries, and there's never no problem. You guys are allowed to go out and play your music. You guys are allowed to sell merchandise and enjoy yourselves. You can't say 100% we've been nasty to immigrants in this country. All of y'all have y'all own day. Now, when Juneteenth came up last year, a lot of y'all showed y'all fucking ass. Talked about it was a ratchet holiday, and why do we need to celebrate that? One guy, all he knew is it was something for black Americans. And when his co-host asked him the simple thing, well, do you know why we celebrate Juneteenth? He said, what, because a bomb got dropped on Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921? He didn't even know what the celebration was. Valentina Gomez, who can hardly speak English, talking about why we celebrating this. Vivek Ramaswamy, who was talking about we don't need to be celebrating that. There's been wrong that's been done to everybody. But you don't say that on St. Patrick's Day. You don't say that in New Orleans. You know, we got the Irish-Italian parade out there. We got the Italian parade. We have the St. Patrick's Day parade. We celebrate everybody else's culture here in America. Everybody, no matter where you come from. The Burmese up here. Hell, they don't even go to work on the day when they celebrate their New Year. There's a large Burmese population here in Iowa, in Marshalltown where I live, and in Des Moines is kind of like their little headquarters. Everybody is allowed to celebrate where they come from. I can tell you most Americans don't have an issue with immigrants. The only thing we've ever asked is to follow the law, because you know what? When we leave the shores of America, for those of you who never been, when you go to other places, when you land, you got to go to immigration. They want to see your passport. They want to know where you're going. They want the address. They want all your contact info. So if you stay 1 minute over the allotted time you say you was going to stay, they come look for you and they can deport you. There's immigration laws all over the country, whether you like them or you don't. But don't tear up here. Don't say that you want to stay here, but you're going to tear the place up. This is just going to make it worse and worse for the people who want to come here. Because if they decide to close the borders, a lot of y'all are going to be in trouble. A like I said, I understand for some of y'all, these are y'all family members that are getting rounded up. Um, you, I have different feelings about that. Yeah, I feel if you've been here 20, 30 years and you've been here illegally, well, the ride is just over. It's just that simple. I understand there's a process in becoming an American citizen, and it's not so fast for everybody. I understand that. But at the end of the day, the internet is forever. A lot of people from my community, foundational black Americans, have pulled up people who's crying tweets about us. Why, when anytime there's a protest that somebody black was killed, why didn't he comply? Why didn't he just put his hands up? If he wouldn't have ran, this wouldn't have happened. If she wouldn't have ran, this wouldn't have happened. If they would just follow the law, things wouldn't happen. You know, Officer Tatum and some of these other people out here, they jump on that. Well, people from my community have pointed these out to these people. Hey, wait a minute. Remember, to all the Nigerians that's getting deported. Remember, we are katas. We don't whack hard. And all this other nonsense that y'all have came here and said to us. To everybody else that's wondering where we are when them Haitians was getting deported under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris under the Del Rio Bridge. They were calling for us. Stay your ass out these protests. Go to work and go your behind home. You don't want to be mistaken that you participate in something you didn't participate in. Stay your behind home. Unfortunately, something has come out that some of the anarchists have came out. This is their time to strike at the government for whatever beliefs that they feel. And now you guys who are protesting ICE are starting to understand. When black folks show up and we protest something unjust, a lot of times it's not those of us who's out there protesting that start all this damage. It's people that come out there with their faces covered to start damage. I hear that there's places where they're giving them face shields to go out there and throw rocks, and these are supposed to be some kind of almost military grade style face shields that's being given to people to pelt rocks and things at law enforcement. So hold on just a second, everybody. Sorry about that, everybody. Definitely, like I said, shout out to my boy, Well Dressed Tactical. He's in the building. You guys know he has his Jamaican accent and what have you. At the end of the day, just ask yourself if you go out there, if it's worth it. Do you want to be the one that possibly get arrested, imprisoned, what have you? They got all this facial recognition going on, what have you. Ask yourself that. For me, I'm going to say this. This is not a fight that I want to be involved in, only for the simple fact that there's a lot of underlying issues, and a lot of the people who feel like they're being targeted was laughing when it was our turn. When it was us, they were laughing and making fun of us. They were saying all we do is cry. All we do is complain. It don't matter that Tamir Rice was sitting in a parking lot, in the park, and Timothy Loman jumped out and shot him before he could even tell him it's a toy gun. It don't matter that Ayanna Jones was sleeping in the bed and the SWAT team member shot that girl in the head in front of her grandmother. Stop complaining. It doesn't matter that Tyree Nichols got the crap beat out of him. He should have never ran. He should have stood there and took his ass whooping. It doesn't matter that Walter Scott ran. He shouldn't have ran. What did he run for? He deserved to be shot. I can go on and on down the list. when it was us, these very same people who were out here protesting was laughing at us. Let me just go ahead on and say it. They was calling us all kinds of niggas. Out there in Long Beach before this happened, don't think I didn't see the video of them little Hispanic kids that showed up at that high school that stood next to each other with shirts that's basically spelled out the phrase, I love niggas. Yeah. See, we haven't forgot all that. We haven't forgot all that. And all we've decided is it's not worth us coming out there for. Because when we show up, LAPD gonna get real physical. All of a sudden, that restraint that they had is gonna go. The robots gonna come out, them robot dogs that's carrying flamethrowers and guns on them now, if you ain't seen them. All the new technology gonna come out there. All right. White Ram, oh shit. We got my boy Jason in here. Yeah, man. I appreciate you being out there with me, Jason. We had a ball. But yeah, this is one issue that I don't advise that you get involved in and put yourself on the possibility of being harmed just because I understand what this was supposed to be about, but what it's turned into. And as I said, the media and law enforcement is taking a real hands-off approach. And that's just what it is. So I'm not coming out there. Remember, the Asians got their hate crime bill by lying on us and saying that we're attacking them. And then they got emboldened once they got their hate crime bill. I was hearing, especially in New York City up there, in San Francisco, how they would just bump into people. Just arguing with Asian was getting people locked up. They used us to get that. So we've just decided as foundational Black Americans, this ain't our fight. We may not like everything that goes on in America, but we've fought for this country. We've never burned the American flag. We've never did none of that. We've never waved a foreign flag here in America. We don't do that. At the end of the day, whether you think what ICE is doing is just or unjust, there's ways in this country of protesting. And as I can even see other people that immigrated from here saying, you guys and girls would never do this in your home countries. And you come here and do it. No country is perfect, because if your homeland was perfect, you wouldn't be here. If the flag you're waving of that country, if that country was so great, you would not be here. Some of y'all wave flags of countries that you don't plan on ever going back to. Once you become a citizen here, once you come here, you won't leave until you become a citizen. The majority of y'all. And some of y'all, once you become a citizen, you say, I won't never go back to wherever I came from. And that's fine. Wave an American flag. Or at the least, don't disrespect the American flag. Whether you believe in it or not. Let me address something else before anybody tries. About the Star Spangled Banner. Foundational Black Americans that kneel or don't stand, we don't not stand for the disrespect of the flag. It's the Star Spangled Banner, because they don't play the third stanza. Yeah, you're right, well dressed. The third stanza, that's the way I was raised. If they'll play the third stanza, that's it. Whether you like it or not, we all don't have to politically agree. We don't. You know, I'm one of the channels that have made it publicly known. The Proud Boys and all these types of people, if they can pass a background check, I don't care that they have firearms. All these neo-Nazis running around and whatever, I don't care that they have firearms. The way I'm going to stop them from harming me is I'm going to make sure I have mine. That's it. I don't think if a person can pass a background check, I should be allowed to impede on their Second Amendment rights because I may not agree with them. The way you stop somebody from harming you is you get some protection for yourself. Just like if you're somewhere where there's no firearms and somebody want to punch you in your face, the way you protect yourself is you put your damn set up. And damn it, if you're going to go down, you go down swinging. All right. I've addressed that. Let me go ahead on and move to a different topic. Let me get back on these 2011s. If you've never shot one, go shoot one. A 2011, you right about that. These 2011s, I was in awe. After the only 2011 I did not shoot was because at the time the owner wasn't there and I didn't want to pick his firearm up. There was a Staccato, I think XC out there. And shout out to Tactical Tina because she told me she got 4 of them. There was a Staccato XC out there and I didn't shoot it. It's the only 2011 that was out there from Staccato that I saw. If there were more out there, maybe I just didn't recognize them and I didn't shoot it. But I shot everything else. I enjoyed that. The 2011s, wow. If you've never shot one, like I said, it was my first time shooting a 9mm on the 1911 platform. They run as fast as they look on TV. I seen that in person myself. They shoot just as fast. Like when you see the Honest Outlaw and a regular gun guy and all these other people shooting these firearms, and they look like they're almost going cartoonish fast. If you shoot one, you will see, man, these 2011s. Yeah, they're on. I'm definitely gonna get me one. I'm sold on the Stealth on Platypus. That was the first one I actually shot. Shooting steel targets, I felt like a professional out there. I mean, I don't remember. Was it a Gideon? I don't remember exactly what the optic was that was on it. But, man, it was zeroed in, man. And I was just hitting that plate like it wasn't no tomorrow, man. I mean, definitely get you a 2011, man. I was told the Prodigy is kind of entry level. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to spend $10,000 on one. But that Platypus, I'm going to have to save my allowance up to get me one of those. But I definitely got to have me a Platypus, man. It was just how you see them on the videos, like I said, it's just as smooth as butter. I mean, as fast as you can pull a trigger, it'll just go. And it stays on target. That's what I like about it. You know, I learned a whole lot from the people that was out there. That's another thing. Nobody thought they was above learning and above being checked for doing something unsafe, which I didn't see anything unsafe. Like I said, nobody got hurt. When we first started shooting, there was a little bit of bunching. And then everybody was like, okay, before you start shooting, look at the person next to the right next to you. So that way they don't catch a hot bullet, you know, a hot casing. But, man, we had a ball out there. It is an experience. It's not a meetup. It is an experience. Like I said, I got my On 5 shirt. I don't know if there's any more of these left, but I made sure I bought me one. These are commemorative. It's going to go in the safe with my Trump 2020 mags like this. This, and it's specifically because it's the 5th meetup. That has significance to it. I don't think I will ever fire using this. Now, I did see some people that put them right to work, and they do work. As a matter of fact, the AR I shot with the reset trigger had one of these in there. They do work. That I can attest to. But, man, before I get out of here, I'm going to say this. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific, tune into a regular gun guy. They're going to do the recap. You will see me in the comment section eventually. If he opens the floor, I might even make a guest appearance there. But I just want to thank everybody that let me shoot their firearm. I want to thank everybody that came up to me, everybody that I had a conversation with, even if I don't remember your name right offhand. I really want to thank y'all. Y'all made this a family event. Everybody out there talked about how much they felt like they were with family. To my brother, Paw Don't Play, I'm not going to talk about your personal thing that happened with you, but I'm glad you came out. I felt for you, brother. I'm glad you came out there and enjoyed yourself. Oh, by the way, speaking of him, before I get off here, I shot a Glock 17 for the first time. So the Glock fanboys know this. I made a comment, and he was standing there, and I didn't know he heard me. I saw a Glock. I think it's been ported. It was gold and black with the gold mag well, and I was like, oh, I didn't come out here to shoot no Glock. I don't want to shoot no fucking Glocks, you know. Kind of making a sarcastic comment, and he heard me. He tried to get me to shoot it. I wouldn't shoot it. Then I came back. He told me, I'm going to make you like Glock again. And I told him, I don't hate Glock. I got a lot of friends that's Glock fanboys. I told him the story about David and what happened with his Glock. And real quick, he said it was the bullet. It wasn't the gun. So he talked me into actually shooting this Glock 17. And I'll tell you, that's on the list. That was that Glock, I don't know if he got work. I'm assuming he got some work done to it. That was a flat shooting gun. But, you know, I'm not as advanced. So, Billy from My Fly Family shot it a little bit later. And I happened to be standing there. And Billy was like, what the hell? This is the flattest shooting Glock. What the hell did you do to this? Yeah. Yeah. Well, y'all hold on just 1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah, give me a minute.
Back door.
I'm sorry about that, everybody. Something from the ghetto. I'm sorry about that, everybody. Nevertheless, let me just go ahead and say, so I shot that Glock, and I was really impressed. It was a flat shooting gun. My boy Eyes and Ears Tactical, I know he don't shoot nothing but Glock, and he don't buy nothing but Glock. Eyes and Ears, just for you, brother. You need to be at Arm 6. You need to be out there. They made a mistake. Yeah. You need to be at Eyes and Ears. You need to be out there next year so you can shoot something besides a Glock. All you Glock fanboys, come on out there. I know I give y'all a hard time. But nevertheless, like I said, it was worth it. It's an experience. You definitely will feel like family. So with that being said, let me go ahead on and get on out of here. Like I said, tonight, they're going to do the recap of the Arm 5 on a regular gun guy here on YouTube. 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Mountain, 5 o'clock Pacific. Make sure you be in the house, as I said. I'm definitely going to be in the comment section. I might possibly actually drop in the video. So with that being said, everybody, this was another edition of Midday Mania. If you catch us on the replay, make sure you hit the likes button. You may or may not agree with what I said on this replay, on this live, and that's fine. All I ask is that you be responsible and you be respectful in your comment to me, and we can discuss it. If I'm wrong about something, that's fine. So with that being said, shout out to everybody out there. We appreciate you turning in and tuning in. And until next time, stay safe, stay armed, stay on high alert.